YouTube, what's going on? Today we're looking at HAX and HAXcms. Now this is a website I used using HAXcms on HAX PSU. So the main thing about HAX in general is it stands for Headless Authoring Experience. And if you don't know anything about deep tech, I guess, the newer way to run tech, you don't really know at all what this means. I didn't know what it meant, and now I do, and here I am teaching you. So headless is the main operating word we're looking for here. The idea of headless is that it doesn't use a database as most other content management systems do. Now, if you look at WordPress or even Drupal, there's a database in the background that holds all of the content, and the UI in the front grabs the different information and puts it where it needs to be for the user to see it. Now, the difference is here that headless means that it uses a JSON outline schema rather than a database. So if you've never seen a JSON file before, this is kind of a little example using this list here to try to get a better understanding. So JSON objects, which are held in an entire JSON file, they have keys and values that represent what information is inside a JSON object. So say for this first list element here, this first little line of the bullet, the key for this list would be an ID as the first one, and then the first pair, and then the value could be 1 since it's the first element here, and it could even be 0. It could be anything you want as long as it works in your list format. So then after that first pair of an ID and a number to declare which one that is, then this could say as a key it could be content. And then in that value for content would be this text. So it's kind of a way to hold information that could be looped, or it could be iterated upon. It could be grabbed at any time. Say if I just say get the value 1 in this list, then it'll return this content when we want it. So then the second one here would be, say, the ID. For the key ID in this, its value would be 2. Since this one was 1, it would be the second one. And then, say for our key content, the value would be this text here. And then the same for the last one, with an ID of 3, and then the content would be this text. Now each of these are held in different objects inside of our JSON file. And that's what headless is built upon. It grabs from the JSON file that's loaded when it needs to be and given to the UI. Now, if we come to HAXcms, which runs on HAX, if you didn't get that part yet, but this is HAX's version of a content management system. Now, this is what this entire website is created upon. All these tabs on the sides, there's different parts here, and then all the information that's presented on the screen here is all written in HAXcms. Now, I will do a little tutorial here. Let's see, to do it, we'll delete this page, confirm, and then we'll come in to edit the page content, which it's not loading correctly. That's the other part about HAX as we look at it. It's run entirely on web components. So let's see if this is coming up now. Restart it, check it out. Because if we come to our inspector here, we can see there's all of these web components that were made custom for this site. Now they can be used on any other site because HAX is an open source resource that anybody can download the plugin, or not the plugin, sorry, can install onto their own code and use these HTML tags to make their own site with them, or to use as just elements here and there. And we are having some troubles getting the editor to come up here, but the basic idea is when we come in here, if we go to edit page content, if we have select element, if we pick one of these elements here, it would normally show all the details behind it. And then if we come to add content, we can go through and we could do different parts like this here is added as an H2, this one, and we're simply able to change that to be any type of header we want, text format we want. If we want it to be regular paragraph text like this one, it comes in as a text formatted paragraph. This one here is set up as a list, as you can see these bullets here. This one is a little more in-depth and a little more complicated when it comes to making that web component itself, which, remember, we did talk about web components in the last video. If you haven't checked that one out, maybe run back to it, and then you'll get a better understanding of what I'm talking about as these being web components that are added to this page. But the basic of this one is that it implements a YouTube video from YouTube, and then you actually put in the link, and then it'll put the whole video out. It'll give you a transcript, anything you need. And these are all things that I haven't actually coded myself, so there's nothing real tough about using HAXcms. It reminds me a lot of GravCMS, the general layout and how you edit different parts. And if you haven't seen the GravCMS video, that one's a couple videos back, but it's a really good one to check out because I do like Grav a lot, and it's very similar to how HAX is laid out. And so we'll go back, we'll go out of editing. If we could get this to work, I'll try one more time. If not, I would show you the video or how to add a page to the side. Let's see if editing, there we go. Now we have editing working. So as I said before, for this H2, this is all the settings behind it that we can change. We can change IDs, which I wouldn't recommend doing because it might screw up a few things. But you're able to do that. You can change the schemas, what class, different styles to it, the general layout of the page. You can add content. This is what I was talking about before. This YouTube plugin down here is actually added. Let's see if we can find it in the list here by this video player. And that makes a whole world of things so much better, because normally if you were actually coding this out, it would be, if you don't know a whole lot about coding, you'd take maybe a day to put in a video player that would actually work on any browser. And by just you just click this, drag it in, and there it is. So I will show you, if we make a new page, we'll just call this video. And it's displayed in the browser bar after your site name. So this is the location that it's going to go to in our link here. We'll just throw it in this video, and that'll just add to the end of our link. Now we have our new page. Here it is, just blank and ready to be edited and put anything we want into it. Now if we go to YouTube here, as you can see, I was doing a little bit of research beforehand. But if we come to our channel, this web components video that I just threw up, we're going to grab. We're going to grab this video, copy the link, and you'll see why I'm doing this, because we're going to throw in, we'll put up top here, we can change this to, actually we'll just throw in oh, it's already a paragraph, never mind. Didn't see that part. We'll throw insert item below. Change this to the title, and then as simple as that, we went from a paragraph to a heading. We'll throw in the heading. Ooh, I'm in the wrong spot there. Seems to be wanting to throw it up top. There are a few bugs that need to be worked out with HAX, but overall it's really easy to use. It's simple. There is a little bit of a learning curve just to understand what all these buttons mean if you really want to be quick. But after a little bit of really looking at it and trying to put together something of your own, it's not too tough to grasp. I did not mean to add that. We are going to put in this video player, which, there we go, we clicked one button, and an entire YouTube possibility player here. And I normally put them in by, I just do modify HTML source, which is, you got to look at a little bit of coding, but the main thing we're going for here is the source link. So what video is it going to display? And that's when we copied it before. We're just going to paste in our new link. Click that button again, and here we go. Here's our web components. We'll we'll get rid of the transcript so it makes it a little bigger here. Oh, this is the web components video that we grabbed from YouTube a couple seconds ago. And just like that, we have a functioning. If we hit save, we can go back to our other tabs, and then we come back, video, and it's ready to play. You have the transcript on the side, everything that was said in the video. You're able to play it. I'll turn the sound off so it doesn't play there, but it will actually play the video for us, and we're able to run through the video. Everything about it is pretty much just anything you'd see in a normal video player, but the difference is it's used with web components. So that this video player, all we had to change was the source that it was coming from. I could change this text on it. I could change if we want transcripts to pop up or not. Everything could be customized to fit what we want it for, but it's very easy. It saves so much time making all of this because it's all just grabbed by with the same web component and change what we want here or there. And to learn more about web components, I was on the last video, but I hope you learned more about HAX and HAXcms, the JSON outline schema that it uses, and how simple it is to really quickly. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.